I initially contacted a seamstress for simple alterations to a gown I already owned, but she insisted on designing my dream dress from scratch. Throughout the process, she was kind and seemed genuinely excited to help, which made me trust her. Little did I know that on my wedding day, she would transform from a helpful vendor into an uninvited wedding crasher. Whoa, okay. Overstaying her welcome and turning what should have been a beautiful day into a nightmare. Okay. She was supposed to help me into the dress and leave once I was ready, but she completely ignored my clear instructions. I told her several times she was free to go, yet she lingered as if she were on the guest list. It felt like she had no concept of boundaries or any awareness that she wasn't supposed to be there. My friends who were there to help me get ready kept complaining about her presence because she constantly inserted herself into everything. In her mind, she may have thought she was helping, but all she did was interfere and rob my friends of their roles in supporting me. After the ceremony, things only got worse. She repeatedly pulled me aside to fix the dress, dragging me away from guests in photos. Ooh, I don't know how I would react to this. What are your thoughts so far?
So it's a double-edged sword because I understand the being prideful of the dress that she created and wanting to be there to experience it. But in reality, it's not your day. Ask for photos, ask if you can take pictures or whatever. That is tough because ultimately, I think my family would have just been like, hey, thank you for coming. You can leave. But also, as a hairstylist, I have been invited to a wedding to do hair before. And there was no clear instructions of if they wanted me to stay and fix their hair throughout the night or if it was from time for me to go. And so I had to just blatantly ask, what do you want of me? Because some people want you to stay to do a hair change from ceremony to reception. But if they don't know, that gets tricky. But a lot of people assume that the person does know, but also you never take a bride away from a conversation unless they're giving you the look of helping.
Yes. Yeah. And it's hard because it sounds like she just assumed this girl would just know what to do. This woman would know what
Right.
to do. And it's hard. You don't want to be like, okay, your end time is this time. Once the dress is on, you can go. Unless maybe she did say that and the woman still stayed. But yeah, it's hard because I know even as like a day of coordinator, there's been times where like pretty much once the dances start, I'm like free to go. But there's been times where I'm also invited as a guest. They're like, oh, stay for dinner, stay for dancing after. And then, depending on how close I am, I usually will just see myself out because I'm like, I'm not family member or close friend. I'll just let them enjoy their day. Other times I'll stay for dinner and I'll like hang out, but it's knowing where you like fit in and where you like don't fit in.
And then also, from how it sounds, it doesn't sound like the bride was like, hey, I would love for you to come to my wedding and spend the day there. And that is one thing it's like, I would never assume that I was invited. And that is wild to me. On top of the fact that, like, I've never heard of a seamstress or wedding dress designer bringing the dress to the venue.
Yeah, I was shocked by that too. I didn't know if that was like a common thing because I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of it. Maybe if you've ever come across this, anybody watching this, please let us know because that is wild to me.
Yes.
I've had so many brides. They go a week or two before. If it's normally brides like it done before then, but at least a week or two before, they get their dress and then they have it hanging in their closet where a bridesmaid or a mother of the bride or groom has it, and then they bring it to the venue. But I've never heard of a seamstress being there.
Yeah. I'm wondering if there was like some kind of connection with this seamstress, like a family friend or something, or like there's some
Yes, that
connection.
would that would make it complicated.
Yeah, because then she's like, oh, I'm gonna carry this with pride because they're all gonna see this dress that I made. And then I need to make sure it's perfect in every photo. And I need to help her get dressed and make sure it's everything. But like I was just saying before, I was like, I've been to and been a part of so many weddings. And even when the bride has an outfit change, they like do it themselves, or like a mom helps them or a bridesmaid, never the seamstress.
Well, because it's an important moment. Like so many women want that picture of their mom lacing them up, their sister or whoever like is important in their life, helping them get ready, putting their shoes on, fixing their train. The hand placements, it sounds so silly, but so many women, you know, the important people in your family or friends or whoever, you know what their hands look like. And years down the road, when you're looking back at those photos and you see their hands, they may no longer be here. It matters to you.
Mm.
And she took that from her.
Yeah, yeah, that would really, I feel like, really bother me. That might be, I always say like there's always a moment, and even people pleasers, I always say I'm a recovering people pleaser, but there's always that moment where it's like it's gone too far. And I feel like if it were something like that on my wedding day, I'd be like, I would really like my friends here to be able to do this. There's the ex I don't know. I don't think I would do that, but I'm like, it's so hard to like put yourself in that position.
Yeah.
Like, how would I handle this?
See, and again, back to the people you surround yourself with. I keep harping on this, but like my family and my friends would have pulled me aside and been like, "Did you ask for this?" And if I gave them a face of no, then they're like, "Don't worry about it. I've got it." And they would just gone and handled the situation. But again, we don't know all of it. We don't know if she was a family friend where they didn't feel comfortable doing that because they didn't know the depths of their relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so she pulled her away from guests and photos. It was as if she was determined to be a part of every moment, completely oblivious to how disruptive and intrusive she was being. She had no self-awareness whatsoever. To make matters even more offensive, she made rude comments about my husband's race. Okay, so now she's just a rude person.
Absolutely
Would
not.
not fly.
No. Okay. That I can see a lot of things in a lot of different perspectives. I can see where you're wanting to be there for the dress, you're wanting to try to be helpful. Maybe you have overstepped and you don't understand personal boundaries. That is a hard stop.
Yeah, that would be absolutely no. You're
No,
out of here. You're being escorted at this point. So
that part. You
I mean,
no
not her.
longer get the first comment, you're out.
Yeah, this is your client. If you're making that comment about your clients, I can only
Or
imagine what you're saying behind the scenes. So yeah, no, not gonna fly. When I expressed that I was stressed, she told me it was my own fault for DIYing my wedding. I was floored. The audacity and lack of empathy was shocking. Her behavior was not just unprofessional, it was downright inappropriate. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is way worse than I thought. When we got our wedding photos back, my heart sank. She had her phone in my face in countless pictures, ruining moments that should have been timeless. I would be so upset. I feel so bad for this bride.
I have a friend who she only does wedding photography. And the amount of hate that she gets sometimes from other people that are in weddings because she's like, hey, I need you to move to the side, or hey, put down your phone, or hey, it's supposed to be a phoneless ceremony because she's paying me for these photos because she likes the way I do things and she's not wanting them. And the amount of times that she's posted where you can see a phone completely disrupting a photo that would have been, like you said, timeless
Mm,
and would have hung it in their bedroom forever or in their living room forever. And now, because of a phone,
yep.
it's there and
Yep.
it's ruined. Oh,
Yeah.
heartbreak.
I know. That's terrible. I know it's like the people that always think their phone's going to get the better job of the photographer. And it's like, no, they are trained professional with a camera. Let them do their job. I know I've been to weddings where it's like, put your phones away, and there's still people taking photos, holding up their iPads or whatever it is. And it's like, just put it away. Take a photo later. Pull them
Yes.
aside if you need to. But
Get little like one-offs from like when you're sitting at the table at dinner and the setting is stunning and beautiful. Get your own little like point of view picture and send it to her or put it in an album for them to look at later if they're wanting some like B-roll type
yeah,
of content. But let the photographer or the videographer, or have you heard of wedding content creators?
I have.
I just heard about this week and I was
Yeah.
like, that is phenomenal. Good for these
Yeah.
people like making a new like avenue for income. But because I've always thought about that. It's like these brides, they don't want to play on their phones, and bridesmaids are doing a thousand other things. And now there's wedding content creators that go to weddings to get B-roll content for these brides. Phenomenal.
Yes.
But do that. Don't think that your iPhone's going to be better than the camera or the editing style that the bride or groom or whoever is paying for this wedding wanted.
Yeah, it's definitely knowing what you were hired for and what you're there to do and be done with the job. Because, like, even as a day of coordinator, like the last wedding I worked in the morning before the photographer came, it was part of like our contract, our calls. I was like, I'll take like behind the scene photos when you guys are getting makeup done because I knew the photographer wasn't going to get there until noon. So I was like, I'll do that before they come. As soon as the photographer came, I was like, my phone's away. You don't need me. Surely you don't need this iPhone. And even when I was like taking pictures of like just stuff around, I was like very cautious about like I did it before anyone was like in a setting just to take pictures of behind the scenes. And even then I'm like, phone should be away. As a vendor, it's not your job unless you're a photographer. But
Well, also, if you think about it from the person's whose wedding you're at, right? Bride, groom, whoever. if you see this, it looks rude. It looks like you're not present for their or not most important day, but extremely important day to them. You could be looking through these pictures that you just took because you think that they're phenomenal and you can't wait to send them, but they are going to remember how you were on your phone at their important day,
Yep.
and that'll stick with them.